My name is Kimina. I'm a tutor and technical officer here at Century East Africa. I have a background in IT, coding, all that nice stuff. And so the Makers Lab was like just a perfect place for me in terms of now bridging how we make music with electronics and even some basic stuff like soldering, making XLRs, stuff that we take for granted sometimes, but it's all in the vision of what we try to do, especially as the tech team, as part of the tech team at Century, and that is democratizing music. So that anyone, anywhere can make their own instruments and, be creative.
My name's Astrid. I'm an artist and designer and hardware engineer, and I live in Berlin. I was at the first Kilele last year, giving a talk, and this year they asked me to come back to build an Embarie with Sam and Basile.
I'm Basile Huguenin. I'm coming from Switzerland, and I'm basically a musician. And more recently, when I say recently, it's like 10 years ago, I began to really get into audio programming. So what I'm doing here is creating the software interface for the instrument that we are building using this open source program which is called Kilele.
My name is Sammy Karugu. I'm a producer, musician, I'd say also coder, but I don't code as much as Basile. And I would say also I like making things with electric stuff, maybe like pedals and contact mics and stuff like that, but not like as much as Astrid and people like this do.
Yeah, Basile and Sammy developed this idea during a residency they had in Switzerland, where they worked together, and now we got the opportunity to make it into an actual instrument at Kilele. So they brought me on board to the hardware implementation, and we had no idea what we were going to build it out of at all. And when I got here, Sammy had the idea of, he's part of the Skate Society of Kenya, and building it out of used skateboards.
What I'm doing at Kilele is making this idea that we had for a MIDI controller that could be tuned on every note. How do I explain this? Like that could be tuned microtonality on every note individually, and also very fast, like in a way that it's like as dynamic as a lot of like, I think East African tuning is, where you can always change, you can dampen and change the tuning.
We started this idea in 2023, I think, when Sam came in Switzerland for 1 month, and we began to think about this. In East Africa, there is a big tradition of tunings with the traditional instrument, which is, of course, a bit getting lost through the plugins we can find generally. So yeah, we began to think about that, and we made the first implementation, but it was pure software, pure VST, we could say. And then this idea came like when I was chatting with Samuel on Facebook simply, and we could try maybe to build something actually. So we got in touch with the guy from Century East Africa. They were interested. And then the Pro Helvetia was like, okay, we are supporting your project. And then we realized we are really lacking the knowledge about soldering, making the electric networks, how you implement sensors. That's where Astrid, as she already came last year, one of the Century guys say, we should ask her, maybe she would be interested. So here we are.
It's, every single instrument is a challenge. This is the kind of thing that I like, is having to make something and just kind of come up with a solution. So this is like my favorite kind of project. And I was really thrilled to be able to collaborate with Sammy, who I've been a big Sammy fan for many years. And so it was great I met him at the first Kilele and was able to collaborate with him at this one. And that's been great. Just a really fantastic experience. So it's, as an artist, I mean, yeah, it's always good to get other perspectives and learn what other people are doing and come up with, that sparks new ideas. And I came up with a few like new hardware tricks as well doing this implementation.
I was really interested in microtonality when I first discovered it. It was through a seminar about Greek, old Greek dramaturge, do we say that? And there was something going on with music with him, and I did these old sources. That's where I discovered microtonality. So I always, with music, I always wanted to push the boundaries, whether like totally experimentally or like maybe going back to some traditions. And yeah, we had long discussions with Sam, and he had some resources about some tunings, old tunings, and it made sense to me. Like I was like, I'm already like trying to push the boundaries of music, you know, using pure data and those open source stuff that allows you to do a lot. And yeah, it just made sense. Like, okay, let's use this knowledge of microtonality and implement it like for rediscovering or putting into practice the East African tunings that we could get hand on.
The whole instrument is just what we made here, and so many people got to jam with it as well. And we'd expect maybe some audience participation in the end. And we'll just go through different tunings from East Africa. There's someone who gave us Embaire tuning. There's also some gamelan tunings, because you can change tunings so dynamically. So yeah, should be expect a fun, informative, and yeah, crazy show. It's going to be fun. With just something so little, you can do so much. Like even our project, we just used like thrown away skateboards. All those boards are broken, they're not new. Like I just asked friends if you wanted to sell a board to us for this project, and they were like, what, for real, you're gonna buy this broken piece of wood? And we just, out of that, we made this and cheap contact mics that you can find in a greeting card.